Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning. 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 Welcome, 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 and welcome. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer. Over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into this business, baby. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift. Good evening to our international family. What's up to all of my folks on TikTok who are watching behind the scenes? If you are new to the PiSeas Tarot experience, drop a star in the chat. If you are a returning guest, go ahead and put a fish in the chat. We like to recognize all of our new and returning guests. Just what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? I'm a little silly right now. Anyway, today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse followed by a sound bowl cleansing, some divine insights. I have more of a divine download today, but I do have an earworm. Then we'll do an overall energy reading and get into some observation, followed by these tarot card readings, and close out with final thoughts. Now, if y'all ready to get into this reading, child, I need you to go ahead and to find them little scrub brushes, find your little scrub daddies, because it's time for us to clean our energy. Some of y'all been up all night. Some of y'all been at work all night. Some of y'all been tossing and turning and can't sleep, and you keep picking up your phone and putting it down. Some of you over here having crazy dreams, whatever you got going on. It's time for us to cleanse our energy and get ready for today's reading and put ourselves into a position of receiving. So if you're ready to get into it, I need you to put those little scrub brushes. That's my choice, the little scrub brush. You can go ahead and put the little brooms, vacuums, you know, whatever your choice, your preferred method is to cleanse the energy. But let's go ahead and get into that right now, shall we? Here we go. Before we move forward, it is so important, y'all. I don't care if it's this reading or any other reading. It's so important that before you do any reading that you take a minute to ground yourselves and to put yourself in a place of receiving the information. And the most simple way to do that is to do a couple deep breaths in, hold it, and exhale slowly. With each inhale, y'all, we want to invite in clarity and balance, but with each exhale, we want to release any tensions or distractions, okay? So let's go ahead and do this 3 times, all right? Here we go. All right, y'all, and let's clear up any stagnant energy and reset it by bringing us into the position with one in alignment with spirit. You know, we got boo-boo. Moo-moo done got fired. We got boo-boo now. Spirit, you are welcome in here. We are calling upon the white light to come and to give us clarity, to give us wisdom, show us clear and precise messages for the harm of none and for the benefit of all. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right. Listen, y'all, if y'all ready to get into this reading, a transparent and fun time, just as a reminder, y'all, this is a safe space. Nobody's judging you. We all been a fool in love before, and baby, today just may be your turn. Okay, I realize messages may come across as being harsh, but it's just what Spirit is sharing with me, and I'm just giving you the insight as what he's talking to me, y'all. So if y'all ready to get into this reading and get ready for a time, I need y'all to find those cooking emojis, because baby, I promise you I'm about to cook, okay? So if y'all ready to get into this and let me cook, go ahead and find those cooking emojis and drop them in the chat. Here we go, y'all. Each moment, I always take time to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is showing me, rather than it be through a divine download or through an earworm. And if you are a part of the TikTok community, you've been here during the pre-show as we were talking about like becoming resistant to anxiety, right? And I was sharing with the individuals that it came up in my Bible study. You know, a lot of us deal with anxiety because it comes from a form of an anxious attachment style, which at its core, and I'm not going to go all over deep into it. If you're curious about it, you can always read about it, right? But at its core, it is seated in what we've been talking about are these low vibrational things, such as insecurities, fear of abandonment, and fear and rejection. This goes back to those childhood wounds. And I know a lot of time when I overstate and exacerbate points about childhood wounds and how they're manifesting in relationships and materializing in adulthood, people get a little defensive when I talk about that. And a lot of times y'all be like, oh, I ain't come here for that, Mimi. Yeah, you didn't come here for that, but you came here to get information because you're looking for clarity. And you can't get a piece of clarity without getting all of the clarity, right? So I say that to say, it is so important that we realize that we really have no control over nothing in our lives. And that anxiety comes in when you feel like you have to do something to get something. So in this case, some quick examples of being anxious and having anxious attachment is being overly needy, overly clingy, needing constant reassurance from other people, being jealous or possessive, ruminating over the worst case scenarios, constantly worrying about the state of your relationship, feeling a sense of urgency about spending time with a partner, becoming distressed when a relationship ends. Those are signs, okay, that you're being anxious about something, and you in your mind, like these brains of ours are very, very, very powerful. Okay, our brains are very, very powerful, and we like to give ourselves this instinct, right, of these narratives that we can control something, that we can just do something. The reality is, listen, folks, we can't do anything. We can't control anything. The only thing that we can control is us in this moment. And a lot of times, many of us are even fearful of trying to control ourselves. But I do think it's important that you surround yourself with people who help you heal through these things. And the reason why I'm saying that is because these things that we go through in life are painful. Okay, the world is going through something. We're all grieving. It's important to understand what your feelings are, what your emotions are, understand the difference between a feeling and an emotion. You know, a feeling is a thought, right? It's a feeling, it's how you feel. But those emotions are, it's only 7 emotions, but those emotions are things that make you have a physiological response. That's what you need to pay attention to. What are your emotions telling you? Because that's your body speaking to you. So whatever it is that your mind is trying to, you know, organize and compartmentalize and do whatever it's going to do, your body is going to tell you, right? Your body is going to tell you. So, excuse me. I knew that was coming. But your body is going to tell you, okay? So, just think about it. You know, a lot of people, especially as you become older, you don't realize how this is where being a parent can't be taken easily. And this is no shade to parents, because as a parent, I will tell you, I definitely feel like we do the best that we can do with our children, right? But we also need to stop giving ourselves passes for doing the best that we can do, given the circumstances. That's an excuse, because you're damaging children as they come into this world, and then they grow up, and then you wonder why you're meeting you as an adult are meeting all these people that come with all these issues and insecurities and dramas and not ready, blah 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 blah. But it started at the childhood, right? And that's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. And I know y'all not gonna like me when I say that. Again, nobody is a perfect person, therefore there is no perfect parenting. But when you think about where these ancient attachments styles come from, it basically comes from inconsistent parenting. Unpredictable, emotionally unavailable caregivers. That's where it comes from. Okay? So, I had a parent I was a latchkey kid, and I was at home, and I thought I turned out fine until I realized I didn't. Okay? So, let's be clear about what this looks like and how this manifests in our lives and in our relationships and our friendships and how we show up for ourselves in the world, right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this energy reading, because I definitely do feel like this has something to do with this particular reading today, because it came up again first thing this morning. I didn't really hear a earworm, although I am hearing Angie Stone's brother playing like in the background. I feel like there's a need to have somebody supporting somebody through something right now, okay? And I know we were talking about it in the pre-show, but that's what I'm hearing. This is about somebody supporting somebody through something. What it is, I don't know, okay? So if y'all ready to get into this reading, y'all, let's go ahead and put those tea kettles up, because, child, I'm invested now. I want to know who's dealing with it. Who's dealing with it? Who's dealing with it? Because somebody is really feeling like they're out of alignment with God's will right now and looking for that clarity, okay? So if y'all ready to get into it, let me see those tea kettles and let's get into this reading, shall we? Here we go. All right, y'all. So when understanding energy, it's important to know that the universe speaks to us in abundance of ways, right? And so you got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your ears open. You have to be receptive. And let me say this real quick, because this just came to me. You can't be receptive to higher vibrational things when you're operating at a low vibrational frequency. It's like trying to listen to 92.3 megahertz on the radio, but you tuned in to 89.5. You're not going to pick up the signal. Okay. So what is the overall energy reading for today? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. What is the overall energy reading for today, Spirit? Bearing fruit. Bearing fruit. We have the card today of bearing fruit. Okay. So this tells me there was a seed planted and it has taken root. And not only has it taken root, but things are starting to spring forth. This is coming into a season of transformation. There's a butterfly on this card, a butterfly in a tree. I'm seeing a lot of angel feathers and wings. And there is something similar here to like an owl, but I can't really make sense of its face. It looks like a dog as well as an owl. Like I can't make sense of this little creature that is here. I'm going to hold it up here and see if you see it. But it definitely gives me the sense of an owl. So that tells me that this is about wisdom. Okay. There are stars here. So there is definitely some type of guidance being given to you. But it's about bearing fruit, right? The outcomes, focusing on the outcomes, bearing fruit. Now, you plant a flower, you're going to get fruit. You plant a weed, you're going to get that too. Okay. Now, what is the overall truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? What is the truth that we need to hear this morning for our journey? Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So this is about perseverance. This is about you overcoming the obstacles, overcoming the things from your past, allowing yourself to still move forward. Divine plans just came up. Divine plans. Okay. All right. What are the guides of the hidden realm saying to us today? What are the guides of the hidden realm saying to us today? This is about understanding that you are in the right place at the right time, regardless. And again, it feels like there is a resistance to the change that is necessary, right? Rise to the occasion. This is about capability, strength, authenticity, and free will. And here we go again with like this little funny fur baby thing. Y'all see that? Okay. This looks more so. I can't make up. I don't know if it's a chicken, I don't know what it is. But this is about you rising to the occasion. Okay. This is about you going to new levels, okay? Going to new levels. This is about you stepping into a different version of yourself, understanding that you're at the right place at the right time. This is about you understanding that your delays were not denials. This is about you understanding that everything that you do definitely has a reaction. Like you're going to bear fruit for everything that you do. Exactly. Okay. Got it. Everything that you do does bear some type of fruit. Either it's going to be a weed or it's going to be a flower, but it does come with something. Nothing is without consequence. In other words, echoes of Atlantis, embrace rebirth and transformation, knowing that every ending is a new beginning. So there is a transformation going on here. There is definitely a transformation of some sort going on here. Okay. And you are being required to understand that this is a growth process. Okay. You're going to have perseverance to see this through. All right. This is not something that's going to come easily for a lot of you. Unfortunately, this is going to come with some growing pains, unfortunately. But I do feel like, and I'm being directed to pull up the 12 spiritual laws. I don't know why, but it's coming to me to pull this up. Yeah. So definitely this is about cause and effect. Okay, cause and effect, and not being sure if you are in the right place at the right time, but the reality is you are. Okay, you are. And this is also teaching you how to accept where you are, how you are there, and letting go anxiety. Letting go that feel to need to control everything 100% of the time, because you cannot. Okay, I know it feels like I'm talking in circles this morning. I know it sounds like it's a word salad, but I promise you it's not. You know, humans are interesting. When things start to materialize for us, we want to see the whole package. We want to see the whole thing. You know, when you building a house, it seems like it takes forever to build a house. But you have to go through that process. You can't just throw up a wall with sheetrock without a foundation and there being a shell of a wall. So you're building up to get to something. And this is really causing anxiety for someone. right now, because it's like they want to just get to the finished product, the finished end. And that's not how life works. That's not how life works at all. Okay. Now, grief. Grief is here. Okay. Grief is here. Grief is a natural emotion. And we were talking about grief, honestly, earlier during today's pre-show. We were talking about how anxiety comes with grief sometimes, and we don't want to accept that either, you know, because it's the controlling of the narrative, and we have to come to the conclusion that we don't control anything. We have no say over anything in our lives. We barely have say over what we're gonna do today. You think about it. Think about it. And let's not be full of ego and air. You have a plan. Y'all ever realize how the day that you have your day planned, like you got a day full of things that you need to do, and you think that day you're going to get up and get going the way you need to get going, and then one thing happens and one thing leads to another and another and another. You have to recalibrate your whole day. Y'all been there before. Raise your hand. Don't tell a lie. We know. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I had all them doctor's appointments. My phone was going crazy. My son woke up sick, and I was like, I got all these things to do today. I have all these things to do today. But you know what I had to do? I had to stop and take a minute and say, you know what? It's all good. I'll get there when I get there. You don't close to 5. I'll get there when I get there, right? And that's the way you have to kind of like adapt to things in life and be a little bit more nimble, all right? Now, what is the soul whisper for today, Spirit? Abundance. Okay. We got the goldfish today with abundance. All right. Now, as you go through this change and transformation, I definitely feel somebody is growing up. And I'm saying that like in the most loving way. There is a resistance to what that looks like. They're afraid of the outcome. And the question is why? All right. Abundance. Abundance is not something we acquire. It is something we are tuned into. This is a quote from Rain Dyer. Abundance is mistakenly referred to by many as the accumulation of material things, when the truth is a mindset that is asking you to appreciate the blessings in your life. This may sound straightforward, but it is not always so easy. In times of personal hardship, it may be difficult to find something to be grateful for, but in these moments, you must remember the small things: the rhythmic breath, a smile from a stranger, performing small acts of kindness for another. Abundance can also fall victim to comparison. If you constantly measure yourself against others, it will be difficult to see the richness of your own life. Perceiving your life as lacking when you may otherwise observe abundance manifests a greater sense of discontent. It may sound cliche to suggest spending time in the practice of gratitude, but being thankful is a core truth that is in the lives of those who experience true abundance. So this is about being plentiful, copious, and bountiful, and having ample. This is about you overcoming yearning, lack, inadequacy, envy, and scarcity. This is dealing with your sacral chakra, okay? Which is dealing with your confidence, your courage, your fulfillment, and harmony, all right? The goldfish is often seen as a symbol of abundance with its iridescent golden hues. It spends much time gliding gracefully through the water without worrying about whether the next goldfish it encounters shines more brightly. The goldfish serves as a reminder to be happy with your own life without comparing yourself to those around you. The sacred words for today is, in recognition of my abundant life, I celebrate all the things that bring me joy. Okay? I celebrate all the things that bring me joy. So, again, this goes back to talking about your confidence. This goes back to the confidence. And the confidence starts with you as a child. And I know we say this in jest, ooh, you wasn't loved enough as a child. Ew. You know, you need to heal your inner child. Want, whatever, right? But that is really offensive to tell somebody, you know, especially when you're trying to be sneaky or snarky about it and throw jabs at them. Like that's a blow. That's below the belt. But if you say it from a place of, I noticed that you have an anxious attachment style. Have you considered going to therapy? Have you considered researching what may have brought that forth? Have you considered working through those things to try to heal that so that you don't feel so overwhelmed with anxiety and grief and depression and all those other things that you can't control? It sounds better, right? It sounds better. But I definitely am picking up on the fact this morning that we have somebody who is feeling like they're outside of the divine plan for their lives. They feel like they're outside of God's will. I'm picking up on the fact this morning that somebody is dealing with anxiety. I know we talked about it during the pre-show, but I also told you during the pre-show that this was something that I was already picking up on. But this is about you going through a growing pain and having to grow up and grow into yourself and evolve and become. And it's definitely feeling as though somebody is a little bit resistant to that. Somebody is a little resistant to that. And this is about them rising to the occasion. Okay? Understanding that it's abundance around you. All right? Now, as we shift to more personal insights and shift our energies to the parties that are involved, please remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Okay? It's a growing pain. It's a growing pain. Not being sure. Okay, distance. You or your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Okay? Growing pains. Distance. I was about to say something and I forgot. What is the T? What is the T? Trying to remember what I was about to say and I can't even remember, child. Always partying. Somebody's priorities is always partying, always being seen on the scene, always being outside. They might as well be the street lights, all right? We have to stop underestimating how much damage we endure as human beings in this human experience. How fragile our egos are, how fragile our exterior selves are. We like to give ourselves way more credit than what we are allowed to give ourselves. Put it to you that way. Red flag. Warning signs. Take heed. It's a risky situation. All right. We got the red flag. Okay. We got red flags present. All right. It is a risky situation. Take heed. You got warning signs on the board. We got warning signs on the board. All right. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to see if this is what comes out. I'm getting the impression that somebody feels pressure about having to make a mature adult decision about picking a relationship or not. That's what I'm picking up on. That's what I've been picking up all this morning, which is probably why I'm picking up on Angie Stone's song Brother in the background. I feel like somebody is like, they know that they need to make better choices and better decisions, but they're feeling kind of anxious. And I think that this is also weighing in on their partner, which thus the distance. Not wanting to let go, not wanting to feel like you've given up. But maybe it's just time that this relationship has expired. We'll see. That's where I'm going over. That's what I'm picking up on. Let's go. What lies beneath this? What lies beneath this? Pregnancy test, unsure, pregnancy scare, positive or negative. Okay. Somebody may be dealing with a pregnancy scare right now, which is what's waking you up. making you realize, ooh, maybe I don't need to be dealing with this joker after all. I don't want that person to be my baby daddy. Not like this. You never know, folks. You never know. All right, emotional. What is the true emotion here? Closing this cycle. Okay, this is the transformation that we're talking about. Somebody is closing this cycle out. Perhaps this is exactly what was needed. This pregnancy scare, what was exactly needed for you to come to the realization that, yeah, I need to stop dealing with these low-hanging fruit. Let me get somebody that actually got something going on. Let me go get somebody who actually is mature. Somebody that's actually on my level. Okay? When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Secretive fell out. Okay? Somebody's secretive. That's a red flag. They're secretive, sneaky, mysterious, always hiding information. What is the true crime here? What is the true crime here? Greed. Greed. Somebody chasing something else. They're not chasing love. Okay. Okay. Somebody's focus is everywhere else but where it needs to be. So the priority is not on relationships. The priority is on their career. The priority is on getting money, having these false narratives and sense of security, which goes back to what I said earlier about these attachment styles and just coming from low vibrational places, trying to find your security in everything else than what is true. Like, it's crazy. Everybody likes material security. So I'm not saying don't focus on making money. I'm not saying don't focus on, having a house or things like that. But when you really think about it, it's false narratives, right? Because you can have all those things. But if you don't have genuine love, then what are you chasing? What are you living for? You can't take the house with you. So my question is, when you die and leave this earth and your brain is still going for those next 7 minutes, what you gonna replay? Well, the day you bought a house? That might be cool. But you gonna play that moment for 7 minutes, the whole 7 minutes? I don't think so. I don't think so. I would imagine, and during that time, your brain is reliving the birth of children, a wedding, a graduation, some type of huge major accomplishments, things that actually bring you joy. I wouldn't see you buying a car or a house as being a part of that moment. But, to each its own. I'm not judging. I'm just telling you what I see. All right, this is about control. This is about sabotage. There's conflict, trust issues, manipulations, and patterns, okay? So there's definitely control issues going on here. All right, what's blocking us from growing? One thing I know for sure, it's time for person A to leave this situation alone. I feel like person A been very patient with this other person. They haven't been wanting to give up on them. They've been holding on, white knuckling it, getting drugged through the mud. Vulnerable. You cannot experience true intimacy unless you open up your heart and be yourself. Okay, so this is about vulnerability. And really, I feel like that belongs down here more so than up there. All right, and the last card is, does this person love this person or not? Does this person love this person or not? I'm totally in love with you. Yep, that sounds about right. Mm, mm, mm. Baby boys, baby girls, we got a dilemma here. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that right now, sugar. We got a dilemma here. We have a dilemma on our hands. If y'all are ready to get into this reading and figure out whose business this is, I need you to go ahead and put those magnifying glasses up. Put those magnifying glasses up. Because, child, when I tell you, it's time for us to drill in. We listen, we don't judge, but we sure finna get messy. Somebody's having a dilemma right now in their hands, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Here we go. Whose business is this, Spirit? Whose business is this? Who is the person that's afraid that they're pregnant, in love with somebody, but emotionally distant from their person, and the person who is deprioritized this relationship? This relationship is not a priority to them. There's no urgency. It's no nothing. They just going with the flow. Whose business is this, Spirit? Person A is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming in with the star card upright. Okay, this is about hope, calm, purpose, renewal, spirituality, fortitude, good omen, and rejuvenation, which is what I said. It's the transformation. It's the needing to grow up and let go. If you or your person has air placements in your chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, go ahead and put those air signs up right now at this time. I want to see who we got in the building. If you are a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius placements, put up the air sign at this time. Person B is coming in as a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, coming in today as a 3 of Wands in reverse. Playing small, lack of planning, lack of foresight, unexpected delays, obstacles, and long-term goals. Okay, so if you or your person is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, go ahead and put in those fire signs in the chat. Okay, because baby, yeah, I could tell y'all to read it right now. I just, I know y'all ain't here for that quick experience. So if you or your person is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, I want you to put up either a fire sign or an air sign. Okay, because I want to know who we talking to today. And if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to find them coffee cups and go ahead and put that in, because I feel like the tea finna be hot this morning. Okay, I feel like the tea is about to be hot. I don't want to give it all away, but I do feel like it's finna be hot this morning. Here we go, y'all. So I'm going to pull out my big A cards this morning because I want you to understand this message needs to be clear. Okay? It's going to be clear, crystal clear. All right? First and foremost, person A is dealing with extreme anxiety. They're trying to figure out if they are in alignment with God's will or not. They're looking at the clock. They're looking at time. They're looking at all the investment that they have made in this other person, thinking that things would have changed by now, you know, mistaking frequency as consistency, right? And what I mean by that is they're looking at the time on the clock and they're like, oh, I've been dealing with you for 2-3 years. So you've been consistent. No, they just been wasting your time for 2-3 years. How have they been consistent? Okay, how have they been consistent? Show me, tell me exactly how has this person been consistent for you? Or y'all just been cool enough to kick it for 2-3 years? See, when you really start asking yourself these real questions, this is where that anxiety starts to come in to play, right? Because when you really be real with yourself and honest enough to examine a relationship for what it is and for what it's not, that's where it's like, am I really in a place that I need to be? So now that you have a pregnancy scare here, okay, this is already straining an already pre-existent strained relationship. You understand what I'm saying? There has been a grievance going on here for quite some time about this, the status of the relationship, how you've gotten to be where you are with this person in this relationship. And I know that to be true because the grief card has come up. So you have been crying a lot, thinking about, if I am pregnant, then what do I do? Because we now live in an environment where aborting a child is not easily accessible. So it's that self-accountability of knowing I messed up. Like, I'm in a bind with this where I could be pregnant by this person. My period is late. We already going through this. Like, I don't even know if this is what I want to do anymore, for real, for real. Like, I've been wasting years of my life with you and this person, thinking about how I thought that you were taking me serious because I misunderstood frequency for consistency. Okay? So this is where this person is going through this transformation. This is where this person is also combating like self-sabotage, if you will. All right. Oh, doggone it. Now y'all seen it. Your current energy is coming in as a devil this morning. Okay. Coming in as a devil. So you have two major arcanas back to back, person A. You are absolutely in a space of where it's like, you know what? I need to be happy. I need to find myself. I'm curious about where I am, how I am. I'm not sure of myself. I want to do better. I strive to be better. You know, but I do feel like I have this unhealthy attachment to this person. I feel like I'll be letting this person down if I leave them now. Right? I'm not the type of person to leave people easily. Like, I realize people have flaws. I realize that, people are going through things and they need help, they need assistance, they need all of those different things, right? It's definitely coming across as that, okay? But what's interesting is that you refuse to let this person go. And the question is, why are you doing this to yourself? You refuse to let this person go. There is a chain here that is holding you back. Okay? There is a chain here that's holding you back. You could only go so far, and then you turn around and you go right back. But then you're curious about if you're in the right place at the right time, baby, you're getting the fruit of your labor. Whatever you put out there, that's what you're getting back. You keep dealing with confusing things, and that's why you staying confused. It's that simple. Okay? Now, person B, on the other hand, this person feels very immature to me. Let's not mistake age for maturity, because this person definitely feels as though their priority is not on a relationship. Their priority is not on love. Their priority is not on building a future with you. I mean, if we're being honest, this person's priority is getting their stuff together, right? Their focus is on money, greed, right? They show you all kind of red flags. They're very secretive. But yet you keep persistently moving forward. And I don't understand that. Okay, I don't understand that. But their value system, if we're being honest, their values are not aligned with yours. And I feel like you knew that coming into this. But for some reason or another, you thought, here we go. Ladies, here we go with this. For some reason or another, you thought that you had magical powers that you could change this person. And the reality is you couldn't. Okay. So now 2-3 years done went by and you still having the same conversations you should have been having with this person day 1, day 29, day 85, you know, whatever it looked like. You should have been having these conversations with this person. And now that the pressure is here, okay, now that the pressure is here, you're giving this person anxiety. Okay, you're giving this person anxiety. You're giving this person stress, anxiety, depression. Like they may not be sleeping at night because it's like you're pointing out to them things about themselves that they really hadn't taken the time to really think about because they didn't have to think about, right? Do I think this person cares for you? I do feel like they do care for you. I do. But I don't think that you guys are aligned. And I think that's where Spirit has been showing you this within the last couple of weeks. Thus, the mentally or physically distant, right? I feel as though you have been pandering to this person, you know, soft threats. You know, if we don't get married by the end of this year, it's over. Like that's a soft threat. Don't ever, let me tell y'all something. Don't ever give a person an ultimatum, okay? Because all that does is put pressure somewhere that will bust a pipe. And what will end up happening is somebody will end up doing something just because you put a fear tactic or a scare tactic on top of that, right? And it's not truly how they feel. If a person wants to marry you, they will marry you. If a person wants to be with you, they will be with you. They will commit. If a person wants to be honest with you, they will be honest with you. This is what we were talking about in the pre-show. That's why this makes sense, that we were having that discussion. Because I was talking about during the pre-show, and we talked about this yesterday, about how important it is to give people space and understand that things in life are so impermanent. Give people the opportunity and the free will that they were born with to make the decisions that they want to make. When you give people space and opportunity to live their lives and to be them and to do them, you'll see what decisions they make. So, for example, don't make plans with this person for the weekend. It's Friday night. Don't make plans. Don't even say nothing about it being the weekend. See if this person asks you, well, what you doing? It's Friday. What you got going on? What's up? You gonna come over here? You want me to come over there? I want you to see what they choose to do. What a person chooses to do within their space and opportunity, that tells you everything that you need to know about them. It tells you. But right now, I feel like you're putting pressure on this person to become somebody that they're not ready to become. You're asking them to grow up. You're asking them to be mature. You're asking them too much. You talking too much. You don't want to be with me? Cool. You don't see my worth? Cool. You don't think that this is sustainable? Cool. You don't think that this is going to be enduring? Cool. It's time for me to go. And I think that that's where person A's energy is. And I think that's what's causing this grief here with person B. Because we have the Three of Wands as their foundational energy followed by this Nine of Swords, okay? They're being exposed. They're being exposed. One way or the other, they are being exposed. And it is causing great anguish for them. Because they're not liking how this is coming across. This person is coming across to me as being a free-spirited person. Playboy is the word that's coming around, right? Somebody who likes to be out seen on the scene, somebody who likes to have a good time, somebody who likes to have a lot of fun, somebody who's social, very social, somebody who is very connected, again, social, very gregarious, right? But when you really look at this person at its core, they just messy. They don't really have their life together.
I just saw a messy man.
And this is where you, person A, are starting to see this, and Spirit is trying to push you out of this. You understand? Spirit is starting to push you out of this. And it's like, I need for you to understand it's other things greater out there in the world for you other than this. Okay? Now, if this is resonating with you, I want you to put down in the chat, who do you align with more? Do you align more so with person A or person B? Like, where do you fall in this story? Are you more so person A or person B? What's favorable about this situation is that we do have this world card here. This cycle is closing, and we know that because we already had that card to come out already. Okay? It's time for both of y'all to grow up and to mature and to evolve. It absolutely is. It's time for both of y'all to step into the people that you're supposed to be. For some reason, the energy here feels very young. Like, the energy to me feels like 20 something. Like, not 30 something, not 40 something. But I do feel like the person B is an older person than person A, but I feel like their energy space feels very young, like in the 20s. Like, when I tell you very immature, it feels very immature. They feel very irresponsible, ill-prepared. They feel very stagnant to me. Progressive professionally, but very stagnant to me. They don't feel like they're one who has... It feels like they're just existing, but they're not really living. And they have a misconstrued conception of what living looks like. Okay? In their mind, partying all the time is a way of living. Being able to buy designer clothes is a way of living. Having the house, the greed of it all. I'm telling you, the energy is very young and very low vibrational. I can't say that enough. But a lot of this for them comes from seeds of inadequacy and immaturity and insecurity. Like, their insecurities are loud. Okay? Now, for person A, it is time for them to just vacate the premises. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I feel like the one reason why they're holding on is because they realize that they're in love and they're afraid that they might be pregnant. And it's nothing to it but to go take a pregnancy test. That's it. Just go take the pregnancy test. The sooner you know, the more reaction time you're giving yourself, okay? Now, for those of you who said that you have aligned with person A, are you comfortable with leaving this relationship alone, or are you still afraid? And for those of you who align with person B, is that really why you are not sleeping at night? Is it because you feel like this relationship is coming to an end and you're like, I don't know if that's what I really want. I don't know if I want this to be over. Can you let me know down in the chat? How are both of y'all feeling about this relationship coming to an end? I'm curious. Now, what's consequential and problematic about the situation is that person A is right now feeling like, I don't know. I don't know if I can really do this. I know that God is showing me that I got other options out here. God is opening up my eyes. I'm getting the clarity. I'm seeing the red signs. I'm not appreciating this person's secretiveness. Understandably thinking about the fact that I could be pregnant. Right now, that's telling me this is something I don't want to do. I don't see myself being with this person for the rest of my life. Oh, hell no. Okay? I don't see it happening, right? But then person B is like, they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling like whatever they want to have happen for their lives, they feel out of control at this point. You understand? They feel out of control. And one thing I want to point out to y'all, we have 3 major arcanas on the board, which means whatever happens in this instance, in this dynamic, is going to have long changing, sustaining impacts on both of y'all's lives. Okay, so this ain't something, which tells me that it is a strong possibility that there is a pregnancy here. Okay, so whatever y'all do, it's gonna have some effects one way or the other. Somebody gonna be feeling something up in this Mickey Ficky, and it ain't gonna always be good. I imagine person A is sitting here asking themselves if they can really envision themselves being stuck with you for the rest of their lives. I am seeing this person being very disappointed that this is where they are with, and where they are with you. Okay. It definitely feels as though this person is like, I was on my way out. I don't know how I got here. I don't even know if I really even want to be with this person for real, for real. Like, I love them. I'm in love with them, but I don't see me going in a direction that I see my life going in. It feels like there is a tug of war between needs and wants right now. Needs and wants. Basic needs and wants. You know? Listen, baby. What this is trying to teach you is, it is time for you to leave this alone with this death card here. Person A, you have all the signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you have all the signs that this is time for you to leave this situation alone. Leave this situation alone, honey. This is never going to bring you what you think it is. Stop mistaking consistency for frequency, or frequency for consistency. Stop looking at how much time has gone by. So what? It's been 2-3 years you've been on this joker. And what's your point? In 2 or 3 years, this person ain't grown up yet. In 2 and 3 years, this person hasn't changed how they move yet. In 2 or 3 years, this person ain't came to you with a plan or a vision, a proposal, an offering, some type of future for permanency. Even though we understand here in this confinement, we understand that nothing in life is permanent. But what I'm saying is, when you go and you buy a house, that's a little bit more permanent. When you go get married, that's a little bit more permanent, right? When you build a family, that's a little bit more permanent, right? This joker ain't talking about doing nothing. And you starting to see the fruit of nothingness. And this is where God is causing you to wake up and be wise, to have some knowledge and some wisdom, and to see what's going on. Whatever seeds you plant, and you bearing the fruit of it. And then you over here crashing out because it's not happening the way that you want it to happen. And what Spirit is telling you today is take more control over your own life and your own destiny. Stop sitting by being an innocent bystander to your own life. I mean, seriously. You're sitting here, person A, in that big, beautiful mind of yours, thinking about all of the nicks and crevices of this, that, and the third. And this is where you're self-sabotaging yourself. Because you're trying to come up with every possible scenario for if not, then when. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm good. I realize that this is a call that I don't have to take no more. Instead of you saying, I know I deserve better. I know I'm not the most X, Y, and Z, but I know I don't deserve this. You understand? It's the birds of the feather flocking together. This is you waking up. That's why Spirit is saying, rise to the occasion today. That's why he's saying this is about capability, strength, authenticity, most importantly, free will. This is about you growing up, having some perseverance, doing whatever you set your mind to. You are here with this person because you choose to be here with this person, not because you got to be with this person. You understand? Every day that you wake up and you wake up in your right mind and good health, you have a choice to make. Am I going to do life like I did life yesterday, or am I going to be somebody new today? And I know when I say it in that way, it makes things so matter-of-factly, right? And that's really the truth. You have a choice. You have a choice. Either you can continue to do things the way that you always done it, or you can make a decision to do things differently. It's that simple. If you waking up today and you getting ready to go to work, you going on a job that you don't like the job, you can always quit. Right? Every day you show up, you say, I agree to the terms and the conditions of this situation. And that's with anything in life. And every time you answer this person's calls, every time you go to that person's house, every time you lay in bed with this person, you're continuously agreeing to the terms and the conditions. And what is happening here is that person A is very irritated with the way that things are going, and they feel like if they put the clamor down on this person, that they're going to drive change from that perspective. And what I am telling you is that is not how you're going to initiate any form of change. That is not how you're going to initiate any form of change from this person. Change starts on the inside with you. And you don't have to beg or you don't have to plead. This person B, this Aries, Leo, Sag, they ain't ready for that. They are not ready for that. They done told you in so many different ways that they ain't ready for that. But you ain't listening. You over here just keep on threatening. You just keep on. Instead of you changing the channel and going on to the next episode, you just keep on saying what you're going to say. And it's desensitizing to that other person. This other person's desensitized at this point. They ain't listening to nothing you saying. Okay? They not thinking about it. They're not thinking about it. They don't even care. The way that you care, they don't care. But they're learning how to care with this pregnancy scare, which is probably why they're anxious. Not only are you putting pressure on them, but now you talking about I might be pregnant. What? How? When? And then the crazy part is they know what they did. But I told you they immature. I told you they immature. I don't know what else to tell you. This person immature. I can't. How many times have I said that today? I feel like I said it 11 times. This person is immature. This person is immature. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. I am telling you, as simple as I possibly can. For the love of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you are pregnant or not, either way it goes, you are being encouraged to take quick, swift action. You are not to be playing games with this no more. You need to be decisive and you need to be decisive and you need to move on around. You're not giving, Spirit is not playing with you no more when it comes to this person. Okay? You need to cut your losses and you need to move on. You're at the end of a cycle for a reason. You're at the end of a cycle for a reason. And you keep on trying to hold on to a man who ain't holding on to you. It's almost like a child. Okay, now it's making sense. This is going back to your inner child. So this is definitely a situation of a trauma bond. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what I just saw in my third eye was like a child wrapping its arms to an adult's legs and like being fearful of letting go. Okay? So you see how this person is like walking around and they dragging this child? That's what it feels like to me. The moment you take your hands off this person's leg, they're going to keep on going and doing them because that's how they feel. That's my girl. In theory. But in reality, they don't see you that way. You can always tell when a person sees you. Well, let me rephrase. You can always tell how a person sees you based on the way that they treat you. And this person is not treating you like my girl or like my wife.
My wife.
Okay? They're not doing that. And what I'm telling you is you got to clock it when you see it. And I feel like you've been seeing it all this time. But again, you have mistaken frequency for consistency. And God has been showing you. He's been showing you. This ain't what you need to be doing. This ain't who you need to be with. How many times do these red flags gotta pop you up in your face before you realize what's going on? They're not sharing information about their dreams, goals, and aspirations because they don't see you a part of that plan. Now that's some tea for you. They're not talking about the future with you because they don't see you a part of their future. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but I'm curious to know, how did you get to this point, person A, that you felt like this relationship was so much more than what it is?
Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble.
I'm really curious to know what was the conversation? What was that pivotal moment where you felt like this relationship was worth more than what it is? That this person wanted you more than what they want you? At what point was this a thing? And I know, y'all, I'm trying to watch my tone because I don't want this to come across as if I am badgering you or making you feel bad. I am not judging you. I am curious. If you are aligning with person A, what did person B say or do to you that made you feel like this was a viable relationship that was going to be sustainable in the long term? What did they say to you? How did they make you feel to where you even feel like you so in love with this person? Because everything that I'm pulling is showing how this relationship is so one-sided and low vibrational. And it is so obvious because every card that has come out right now for you, air signs, has come up as major arcana, with the exception of this one and this one. And what I'm picking up on this morning is that it is time for you to move around. It is time for you to grow up. It is time for you to accept the transformation that is occurring in your life. Accept this ending of this relationship, close this cycle, and start a new beginning. But stop being hot and cold, in and out. Stop trying to be manipulative. Stop trying to do things to get a response out of this person, because the response that you're getting is not the response that you're looking for. So inevitably, you're just hurting your own feelings, honey. You're doing this to yourself.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Because when you sitting up here crying and doing this and doing that with this person, baby, they over here like, what? You know, they over here talking about, let me tell you something. Child, let me bring this to your attention. If you send an emotionally charged text message to a person and you're explaining your feelings to them, and they read that message and you know they read it and they didn't respond, and they looking at your message like,
what?
And they don't respond, or they respond and be like,
what do you mean by that?
Then you know there's a disconnect. You know there's a disconnect. So I ask you, what are you doing? I ask you, what are you doing? If you could say, open up your heart and articulate a thought and express a feeling and ask for feedback, even if there was no question, your goal is to get feedback based upon a thought that consumes a feeling, that expresses an emotion, You're looking for feedback. You're looking for guidance. You're looking for clarity. You're looking for insight. And if that person can read that message and either not respond or ask you, what do you mean by that? There is a strong disconnect. And that is the indicator that this person is not emotionally in tune to you the way that you think that they are. And my question to you is, how did you think that this was your man? How did you think that this was your boo? How did you think that this was your girl? Whatever your dynamic is, right? How did you think that this equated to something much more than what it is? I'm just curious. Because what I'm feeling is that this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, y'all are way more invested in this relationship than this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is. They just think you cool enough to kick it. And I know that's something you ain't trying to hear. But I bet you, if somebody who didn't know you asked that person, you got a girl.
The lie detector test determined
That was a lie.
Okay? It's not real. It's time for you to walk away. I cannot make this up. It is time for this to come to an end. Baby, you done been stabbed in the back so many times by this man. Stop playing these games with this man. They done embarrassed, humiliated, stressed you, drug you. I mean, like, come on. I can go on and on with these feelings. There's nothing positive coming from the situation. So my question for you is, do you love yourself? And I'm not saying that to be hurtful or facetious, but I'm really asking these questions. I understand that you may be hurt and disappointed, embarrassed, humiliated, appalled, flabbergasted, nauseated. I understand that. You may be angry, bitter, aggressive, mad. You may be all of those different things. I get it. I get it. You may feel misled and deceived and all those different things. I get it. But now what do you do? Now what do you do? You're here now, sweetheart. What do you do? And I feel as though this is why there has been distance between you and this person. Because you've been feeling this ending for quite some time. That's why you're grieving it. That's why you're feeling that way. Because it ain't been nothing but conflict. It ain't been nothing but conflict going on here. Internal conflict, external conflict, crucial conflict. Okay? Like, hey, you know, it's been going on. And you've been trying to turn a blind eye as if this is not a problem. This has been a problem.
Child. Anyway, so
That's why Spirit is riding you the way that he's riding you. Because there's only so many ways he could tell you to leave this person alone. So he been telling you all this time, leave this person alone. You ain't let this person alone yet. That's why he had to wake you up with this doggone pregnancy test. Maybe if he scared the heebie-jeebies out you, soon as that little fine little pink line came on, maybe left you a little bit astonished. Maybe you'll get the point that you need to stop having unprotected sex with this person. At 4:44 in the morning, confirmation. Okay? It is time for you to leave this person alone. How many L's you gonna take, sis?
Another one.
like you're doing this to yourself. And I hate that for you. And I'm going to be honest. A lot of women do things to themselves because we ignore all the signs thinking that we in love. Thinking that everything is going to work out. Thinking that we going to be chosen. Like something is wrong with women's brains. And I say that as a woman. And if we being honest with ourselves, something is wrong with us. Y'all know it. We all got friends. We all talk. We all want to be chosen. And I know that we all put other women, oh, that's pick me syndrome. That's this, that. We all do it. It's something wrong with us when we with somebody for a long period of time and y'all exchanging those bodily fluids and going to the naked Olympics. You think that something about that is going to change a person. It's not. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day and we were just catching up with life. And this person was telling me about a person that they've been dealing with. And they was telling me how they're starting to see how manipulative this person has become because this person uses exercise, catch my drift, as a means to control. And I started laughing. And I said, oh, poor baby, she don't realize that affects her more than it affects you. He said, exactly. I'm just going to get what I'm going to get and go. Stop using your body. Stop weaponizing your loving. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to change nothing. The only person that's going to be with you is the person who wants to be with you. Okay? That's it. And people know when they want to be with you or not because they're not going to play games. A person who wants to be with you, it's nothing to overthink. That's the first thing. We need to stop overthinking things. A person who want to be with you, going to be with you. All right. You're definitely emotionally invested in somebody who's not reciprocating that energy for you. And Spirit is causing you to wake up, smell the coffee, do something different. We got the 7 of Cups. You got choices. You got choices. And the decision is going to be yours whether or not that you need to move on around. It's time for you to close a cycle. It's time for you to realize in order for you to evolve and to tap into this hope and this joy and this purpose that you're soul searching for, this growth that you're looking for, the only way you're going to meet it is if you make better choices and better decisions. You know, one thing about life, this ain't pin the donkey. Okay, ain't nobody blindfolding you and turning you around and spinning you around in circle, and then you stop and you try to guess where the donkey is and you try to pin the donkey. I know kids don't play that game no more, but that was the game. I used to win all the time. Okay, because I used to count. Like when you start, I would count how many times I spent the round. I'm like, okay, cheated, whatever, you know, but I would win, right? But this ain't pin the donkey. You ain't got no blindfold on you. You know exactly what you're dealing with. You see it. You still trying to hit the target. Yep. This is the sign of your immaturity for both of you. Because both of y'all could be making better choices and better decisions, but y'all both being irrational. Acting like you scared. Both of y'all are hesitant. They don't want to grow up. I said that in the beginning of this reading. They don't want to grow up and you don't want to move on. So y'all just over here trauma bonding and immaturity. And the question is why? What you so scared to let go of this person for?
Goodbye.
What you so scared of? You got the 8 of Swords. Okay. This is you both. I'm not gonna put this on one person. This is both of y'all. Okay. Both of y'all are walking around here in denial, being resistant and putting up on your own barriers. Both of you guys are up here causing your own misery, your own grief. You understand? This is both of y'all. Because of the immaturity, because of the inability or willingness to make better choices and better decisions. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to open up their heart. They don't know how to open up their heart. Let's be honest. And for somebody, I don't know who, but I just heard the word adopted. A lot of this has to deal with them being adopted. Like they didn't have a good foundational history with their family. They may have been adopted. I don't think it was like a formal adoption, but there was some type of adoption that took place for person B. Okay. Yep. Here it is. And this is why you're stagnant. This is why you're not growing with this lovers in reverse. This is why you are dealing with these emotions that are just inconceivable. This is why. Y'all over here trauma bonding. I done told you this before we got to this point. I'm going to tell you again. This is never going to get anywhere. This is never going to go nowhere.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
Ain't got no gas in it. It's like having a brand new automobile sitting outside your house and you don't know where the keys are. Just sitting up there letting it go to waste. You understand? Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? And that's where you're going to get this new insight, this new desire with this Ace of Wands. You're definitely going to get the new feeling of, I got to do something different. I got to get some pep in my step. I got to come out of this. Like, this is beneath me to stay here and to be here like this and to do this and to go through this. Like, this pregnancy test is the wake-up call. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the wake-up call that you didn't even know you needed, sugar. But I'm telling you, all of this is because all of this is predicated upon person's A's, trauma wounds, not wanting to let go, feeling like you got to control things, which is self-sabotage. This is an anxious attachment theory, anxious attachment style. We also have person B and their refusal to grow up. If they are adopted, I don't know who, this is wildly specific for one or two people, but because they grew up, and adopted in a family that was not theirs, it was not a formal adoption. I'm not saying a formal adoption, but like somebody took them under their wing and just took care of them because they never had things of their own. That's why their focal point is always on material objects, because they're trying to make up for lost time, the things they couldn't do when they were a kid. They're very secretive. They show you all the warning signs. Like, baby, the cards is telling you what it is. And every time you want to get up here and get all puffed up and blow your top, you know, I'm a little bitty teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle. Here's my spout. When I get all steamed up, I just shout. So tip me over and pour me out. When you want to blow hot, they pacify you and just be like,
It's all right, mama.
But that don't mean that they where is the change behavior? I mean, person A, I hate to come at you like this, but I'm coming at you hard this morning. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm confused. You saying and doing all of these different things, but where's the change behavior? How did they try to change? What did they try to do differently? Make it make sense. What has got you so anchored in on this person that you can't get your claws out their back? I mean, help it make sense to me. I don't get it. Or is it just as simple as you are so, let's just call it what it is. You are so that you don't want to leave this person alone because you don't want nobody else getting what you got? Well, baby girl, newsflash. I hate to bring it to your attention, honey. This just in, you're not the only one. Hate to tell you that. This person lives a life where you're not the only one. And I think you know that as well. And I think that's what's hurting you too. I think that's what's hurting you too. Because you spent an insurmountable amount of time building this person up, you know, keep trying to cry your eyes out, keep trying to pander and plead to this person, trying to get them to settle and take you back and resolve. And the only resolution that's going on around here is that you're going to get what you're going to get and you can't throw a fit. That's what it is. You can't throw a fit. It is what it is. So if y'all ready to close out this reading, get to these final thoughts and look at this final outcome, I need y'all to go ahead and put in the chat for me your paper, pen, notebook, emojis, whatever it is, because I want to talk about these potential final outcomes. And while you do that, I want you to really sincerely think about what is it that you need to acknowledge and process today in order for the best outcome. And you don't have to share that in the chat if you want to, but you know, I would love to hear, what do you feel like you need to do differently to change this outcome? Because I feel like we've talked about it, but I just want to know out of curiosity. You know, I really want to know out of curiosity, like, what do you feel like you need to do differently in order for you to evolve and to grow and to truly transform and become your best self? Because I feel like you're impairing yourself right now. You're hindering yourself. You're choosing wrong choices, making bad decisions, and then you over here questioning why you. What that girl say? Baby boy. Baby girl. You did it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You put yourself here. And that's a simplified way of me saying it. You put yourself here. All right? So, y'all ready to get into this reading, this closeout of the reading? I want y'all to take some notes because, you know, I can't predict very well, but I can only take what the energy says, okay? So that's what we're going to do, all right? Here we go. All right, so as we shift to closing thoughts and prepare to get out of this business, I say potential because nobody can predict free will, okay? Nobody can. Only God knows what somebody is going to do and what they're not going to do, okay? But I can tell you what the energy says, and I can tell you what I recommend based upon that. But of course, you got free will. So you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, but of course, I hope that this is insightful enough for you. Now, for those of you who answered the question in the chat, I was reading some of those responses. And one thing I will tell you is if fear is a driver for you, if you're so worried about letting go and the fear of letting go, what if you let go and it works for you? What is the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? All right, here we go. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I definitely feel like the decision is going to be to start your own new beginning, person A. I feel like you're going to get to the point to where you're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I feel like you're going to get tired of being drugged by this person, tired of being embarrassed by this person. Like, you're gonna get to the point to where you're just gonna be sick and tired. And I think that after you hear this reading, if whether you hear it today, whether you hear this reading 6 months from now, Whenever this message finds you, I think this is really going to be illuminating enough for you to understand that you've been ruminating back and forth and vacillating on things that have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. This is going to be really, truly somebody's reality check and their wake-up call for them to get it together. And I definitely feel like once this decision is being made, for you to choose yourself first, I think you're going to find yourself being off in a happier place. Likewise, I feel like person B is going to make the choice to focus on their money. They're not thinking about you like that, boo. I'm telling you, they are not thinking about you like that. Everything in life has an expiration date. And I know that is a hard pill to swallow. I got an expiration date. You got an expiration date. This earth got an expiration date. Nothing lasts forever. That's why I think it's kind of funny how contracts say into perpetuity. What the hell is perpetuity? Nothing lasts forever. The only thing that lasts forever is God. That's it. Everything has an expiration date. Okay? So I believe that this relationship has hit its expiration date. Okay? I feel like both of y'all gonna make choices to focus on self and to grow and to heal and to become better people. We got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I definitely feel like this is going to cause you to be very uncomfortable for a little while. Okay. I feel like this is definitely going to cause you to be uncomfortable for a little while. I feel as though it's going to cause you to feel like things are in disarray. Okay. And when I say that, I'm also saying that from the place and the perspective of things have always been in disarray. So don't allow this to be the first time, you're like, oh my God, like what is going on? This is really unbearable. Let me go call that old thing back.
Try.
Don't go digging in the trash. Do not go digging in the trash. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the moment that you go trying to loop back and try to go back and get with this person, they gonna be, when they see their name pop up on their phone, they gonna be like,
what?
And they gonna go back. They gonna go back. They gonna go back because they gonna be like, I want to see what that old thing is hitting for. And next thing you know, you gonna go back and then y'all gonna be, doing whatever y'all do. Okay? It's gonna be all exciting in the temporary, only for you to get your little bubble burst. Okay? It's going to feel good because that's all it is. But when you really think about it and you look at the situation holistically, baby, you're going to be uncomfortable. Your feelings going to be hurt because you're going to think that they made the choice. They woke up, they smelled the coffee, they thought they chose you. Baby, they ain't choosing you. They choosing what feel good to them. They coming around you only because they ain't seen you in a while. It ain't because they missed you. It ain't because they loved you. It ain't because of none of that. They gonna do what they do. And they gonna move on.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I'm telling you, whatever you do with this person, you're gonna end up failing miserably with that. So don't even go back. Just stay, don't turn back. Stay focused on what you're supposed to be focused on. And then we got the Four of Cups. It's going to be one of those things that's going to be a real struggle. It's going to be a real struggle because you're going to feel like nothing is coming together for you. It's going to make you feel like you made a mistake. No, that's a disillusion that the enemy is trying to put in your mind to confuse you, to make you feel like you're missing out on something. But the reality is you're not. You need to take time to take a step back. You need to take time to heal. You need to take time to reflect. Look at yourself. Look what you did to put yourself in that situation. And the moment that you're not looking, that's when you're going to come across the next thing that God got for you. But don't sit around and be whimpering and be having all this low self-esteem and low energy because this person ain't around you no more. You should be happy. You should be thrilled. You got a peace of mind. You got some sanity. You can sleep at night now. This person is not going to be losing sleep over you. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. They ain't going to be losing no sleep. They ain't going to be losing no money. They ain't going to be losing no nothing. Okay? They gonna be focused on what they need to be focusing on and getting to the money. Because that's their priority. The moon card just fell on the floor. And then we got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Child, I'm telling you. Whatever it is that y'all got going on, I think you're going to come to the realization very quickly. Very quickly and very soon. It is not what you thought it was. It is not what you thought it was. It is what it is. This ain't never been the fairy tale that you thought it was. I mean, let's be honest. Aww. It looked good from the exterior. Wasn't good on the inside. It's like going down into the supermarket, buying a big old thing of fruit, thinking that the fruit tastes good, smell good, because the color look all nice and juicy. Raise your hand in the chat if you ever bought some fruit because you thought it just looked so good and so sweet. It's all shiny. Strawberries specifically. Shiny and red, and looking juicy and plump and just looking like a little, you know. Then when you bite into that mug, you be so mad because you be like, the hell is this? It's bitter, it's nasty. That ain't nothing but that genetically modified fruit that you eating. It ain't even in the season. You understand? It ain't even in season. How you could think you finna go buy some strawberries out of season and they be sweet? See, that's what I'm about, the delusion. The delusion. At the bottom of the deck, we had a 7 of Pentacles. The seeds that you plant are going to bear fruit, which was the overall energy reading that we had for today's reading. Okay? So this is really about you, person A. You coming to the conclusion and the awareness that you need to stop pandering to things that are no longer serving you. Stop giving in to things that are no longer supporting you on your journey. Stop misconstruing things and mistaking them and making them more than what they are. Like, you're the source of your own delusion here. I hate to say it. I'm being called to take this a step further today. Spirit, let's help them out. I want you to show me what's on I didn't call you, Siri. Not you. Spirit, give us some insight to what's on the other side of this transformation. What's on the other side of this transformation? What does the future look like for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements who are leaving Aries, Leo, Sagittarius alone? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What is on the other side of their transformation for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? I want to know. Give you a little glimpse, a little preview. First of all, you're going to wake up and smell the dang on coffee. Okay? You're going to wake up and smell the coffee with that 4 of Swords. You're going to come out of this fog. You're going to come out of this delusion, this world of misery, and thinking that that was the best that you can do. You're going to come out of that. That's the first thing. feel like with this four swords here, followed by this 10 of pentacles. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this so you can see it a little bit better. With this 10 of wands, I definitely feel like you're gonna come to a place of feeling very vulnerable. You're gonna come into a place of feeling very raw with your emotions and your feelings. But I do feel as though this is going to position you in a place of where you need to be. Like you're going through a season of being softened. Okay. Like you're being primed for the next season of your life. Yeah. You're going somewhere else with that Chariot card. You're being primed for what's coming your way. It's going to be with urgency too. There's going to be forward movement in your life. Once you get through your healing that you need to get through, and that's going to change your life. You're going to feel very naive about what is on the other side of this because you feel very vulnerable, very raw, you're going to be feeling very uncertain about it. Okay. But you're going somewhere. You're going to have a decision to make. That's what that is. You're going to have a decision to make. Like whatever is on the other side of this for you is going to be so confusing for you. And it's confusing because you're not used to being in this space of being so vulnerable. You're going to learn not to be in control about a lot of things. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. Yep, you're going to have a decision to make. With that Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck, baby, you're going to have a decision to make. I feel like you're going to come across somebody else. And you're going to be trying to decide like if you want to pursue that connection or not. You're going to feel very naive about it. Honestly, I feel like you're going to be feeling very naive about it. Very impulsive. Very like illogical because of how that person is coming to you at a time where you're so emotionally fragile. But I feel like that fragileness is needed for you to be able to open up and to be ready to receive the quality of love that they have. And I do feel like you're going to recognize that it's a night and day, polar opposite of what you've been dealing with before with this other person. So I want you to be encouraged, okay? That's what's going to make you feel uncomfortable because you're dealing with something that's polar opposite to what you've been dealing with all this time. Y'all understand? Does that make sense, what I'm saying to y'all? Angels, what words of encouragement do you have for this Aries, Leo, this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, dealing with this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Okay? So I definitely feel like this is going to go speaking towards more so of your future self than you do with this present self. Okay? So that's more future forward thinking, okay, than it is now. Y'all, while I pick up my cards, look what's at the bottom of the deck. Heart, love, okay? A red balloon. The number 8, which represents action. All right, Spirit. What is a specific sign that this message is for the people who are in this reading? This is a time of reflection. So if you're seeing a lot of mirrors, places, This is definitely your reminder. This is a time for you to be reflecting and assessing on what you want from your life, making different choices, making better decisions. But mirrors is definitely going to be your indicator that it's time for you to move around. It's time for you to do something different. Okay? It's time for you to make better choices and better decisions, which is all that we've been talking about this whole entire reading. It's time for you to grow up. This is about self-love. So you got Lizzo playing her flute. This is about self-love, okay? And I feel like I said that today. I don't know if I said that or not today, but I know I said that like within this week. It's about loving yourself. Understanding when you should let go of things that are no longer serving you. Understanding that it's time for you to put yourself first. Like, you can't expect other people to show up in your life and to love you when you're not choosing to put yourself first. All right? You're not choosing you. That's what makes this so scary. You're not choosing you at all. You're giving way too much power to this other person who's choosing them. Like, baby, they made their choice. They made their decision, child. They done made their choices and decisions. They living their best life. You can't tell them nothing. I open new doors to life, fill out. I rejoice in what I have. I know that fresh new experiences are always ahead. I greet the new with open arms. I trust life to be wonderful. So this is about you opening up new doors. I mean, there's only so many ways I could say it today, y'all. It's time for y'all to leave this alone. There ain't nothing here. Ain't nothing here. Ain't nothing here. Ain't nothing here. This is going up in flames. This is disastrous. Somebody want to know if that pregnancy test is going to come up positive. What is so true for today? So true for today. Am I communicating my needs? Wow, what a way to circle back. Your needs matter. What you are needing right now, what are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you're fearing is not true? Okay. So today's soul action is to journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe my needs matter, or do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, this definitely has underscored and bookend this whole entire reading. You have been compromising your own self needs and your own self interest for the integrity of somebody else who's not even considering you. They're not thinking about you. They living their life, running from their own wounds, running from their own this, their own that. You know, they running. Spirit, tell me, give me a clear yes or no. Is this pregnancy test going to be... Siri, nobody is talking to you. Give me some indicators whether or not this pregnancy test is a yes. Is this person pregnant? Yes or no? Yes, I got a yes. But I also got the King of Wands in reverse. So this is impulsiveness, high expectations, haste, unachievable expectations. So that goes back to why I said you don't want to be stuck with this person. So if you are curious to know whether or not you're pregnant, the answer is a yes. But it's attached to impulsiveness, ruthlessness, high expectations, haste, unachievable expectations. You're going to regret putting yourself in this situation with this person if you have not already regretted it. Okay, I'm just... I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else to tell you. Sometimes things got to happen for you to be a little bit more mindful, right? For you to be a little bit more I don't know what the word is. But I definitely feel like this is really going to teach you how to grow up. You know, this is going to teach people how to grow up. Carla says, I'm going through menopause, so I can't be pregnant. Girl, let me tell you, it's folks that have babies all the time naturally in their 40s and 50s. People who have gone completely through menopause. So unless you don't have all your organs, it is possible. But I don't want to wish that on you. Women are getting pregnant every day in menopause, in full-fledged menopause. You know? So I'm not saying that to be mistaken. You have women that you can Google online. Right now, there's a woman in Africa in her 70s. Just had a baby. Tamron Hall was 48 when she had her baby. Like, it's women going through full-fledged menopause right now and are getting pregnant. And kids grown, got grandkids, having babies. So don't ever say that. You know, if it's meant for you to be pregnant, it's meant for you to be pregnant. That's the reality. Like, the people who are pregnant are more, people who are going through menopause are more susceptible to pregnancy because your hormones are all over the place and off. You know, so just because you're not having a cycle don't mean you can't, you know. That's what I'm saying. And I know that sounds crazy as all get out, but we got to be mindful that the foods that we eat have all kind of hormones and things in it. So things that were not common practice are common practice in today's world. But you can Google it if you don't believe me. I read the stories about it all the time. Blows my mind. I'm like, Lord Jesus, don't let that be me. Okay, just please, baby Jesus, don't let that be me. All right, Isis says, now listen, y'all probably wondering why I picked up the first card and then picked up this other card. Well, the first card I picked up came up yesterday. So I'm like, maybe I didn't shuffle good. But when I picked up the cards like this, I felt two cards. That's why I put down the one card, okay? Because I was like, I felt two. But when I went to the second card, let me show you what the card says. Proper burial for freedom. Sacrifice to Isis, Lord of the dead. Proper burial for freedom. It is time for you to let this go. It is time for you to let this go. I don't know how many times I could say it today. I done beat a dead horse. I done said it so many times. This relationship is over. It is time for you to leave this alone. Do not talk yourself into staying here. Don't do it. Not one more day. The other reason why I put this card down was because this card came up yesterday. But we are on the crescent moon right now with this lunar queen. Okay? So, listen. I'm telling you. It is time. It is time. In so many ways, it is time for you to leave this person alone. I really don't have nothing else to say. I don't know. I don't know about you. I don't don't think this was the outcome that anybody was hoping for with this. But I want you to tell me right now in the chat if this makes sense. If you've been feeling in your spirit that it's time for you to leave this person alone, can you just write down if this is true? You can put down in the chat something as simple as a red heart if yes, black heart if no, right? And then I want to ask you this question too. If you could rewrite this outcome, what would that look like for you? What would that look like for you? I'm curious. I'm seeing a whole lot of confirming signs here. So I feel like this is, again, going back to what I said about you knowing. You've had a knowing. Right? I'm sucking my teeth because I hate that you had to come to this conclusion. That's what I'm sucking my teeth about. I wish that people had more pleasurable experiences in love and in relationships and in life. I really do wish that. I wish that we could talk about more positive experiences in these relationships and people have more joy and more love and all of those things like that. And I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we're just not there yet. But I feel like we're getting there. And I think that the most important takeaway from this is when you do the work to prepare yourself for the quality love that you really want, I think that you'll start to see it manifest in your everyday reality. But you got to put yourself in a position of doing the work and receiving it. Otherwise, you're going to keep on attracting other low vibrational relationships and keep putting yourself in the same predicament. And that's what we don't want to be. It's time for us to heal. We are in the age of Aquarius, and it is time for us to heal. As a collective, we can no longer pacify and make excuses for poor behavior and shitty things. We just can't. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to PiSeas Tarot. If you've enjoyed this reading, please don't forget to subscribe and become a part of our growing community. You can find me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer, okay? And keep an eye out for other more engaging content that comes along the way. Remember, you can bookmark this reading. It is here for whenever you want to go back and listen to it. If you need a little bit of guidance or if you forgot something that I said, come back and replay it at any point in time. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from your thoughts on how these messages are resonating with you. And it is super imperative for you to leave a comment for me in the messages below. Y'all listen, y'all like, y'all share, you email, send a letter by pigeon mail. You tell me how these messages are resonating with you. But in order for me to be able to grow my channel and to be able to help other people who need to hear the messages, your engagement is so important. Okay, and I cannot stress that enough. So if you have enjoyed today's reading, if you enjoy the things that we talk about over here at PiSeas, I know y'all do. It's the same people that come every day. That's why y'all call guppies. Y'all are part of the fish that's in the sea with me, right? We on this journey together. So if you've enjoyed this reading, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Share this session with somebody else that can benefit from it, or either share them with the playlist so they can go listen to their own element and see what's been going on with them in their relationships. But regardless, if you would like to do a personal reading with me, I am booking currently at PiSeasTarot.com, PiSeasTarot.com. Don't hesitate to reach out. I will tell you, spaces are limited. Spaces are very limited right now. I will never reach out to you and solicit a reading. I know we got a couple of fraudsters running around here. They are relentless about picking up and creating fake profiles for me. And I will tell you and tell you and tell you over and over again. I will never solicit you for a reading. I will never reach out to you. I have only one page. I am officially Mimi Lightseer on every platform except for Facebook. And I am not on Facebook. And watch, they'll go get on Facebook and create a Facebook. I know they will. Okay? It's a lie. All right. But I want to give a huge thank you to everybody who joined the discussion today, from the pre-show through the show to the post-show, those who have gifted me along the way, all of our new subscribers, all of the donations, everything that y'all send through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, and I cannot stress that enough. Listen, folks, I need y'all to remember, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, be patient, and gentle with yourself as much as with others. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. I'm going to say that again because I feel like somebody else needs to hear it. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. So remember to leave a little bit of love everywhere you go today. And until next time, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.